I know I look regular, right? I eat regular, I sleep regular, I walk on two legs. You can hear my voice. I got a TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I get angry. I might use some profane language majority of the motherfucking time. Your intentions mean everything. Being exactly who you are, finding out what you are, upon gaining knowledge of self from the physical world and the spiritual, you will realize some things about you that you'll start questioning. Is there anybody in the earth going through this shit? Is there anybody in the earth that is like me? That's what happened to me. And then I start comparing different tribes in Africa with myself, how they live and how I live here in America. Always having a problem with being wasteful with any and everything I have. And even upon slipping up, I gotta catch myself and make sure that I'm storing and I'm not wasting, because there's people in the earth that don't have nothing close to what I have. Like some of the Africans who've moved here to America, and then they said, as bad as I had it back at home, I don't have any peace anymore. I'm missing certain parts about my civility that at least I had back at home. Now that I got this phone, this laptop, these TVs, and I feel a little disconnected. That type of situation. So I try my best not to abuse and be grateful for all that I think I have. And that is truly everything and nothing. Because it doesn't mean anything. That's what I used to think, if you can't enjoy it with someone else. Because I'm so comfortable with being with myself and I'll be alright. And then I realized, if you can feel like that about things, that you can feel like that about things with yourself. Can you imagine traveling to the underworld? Because there's three. You got heaven, earth, and then the underworld. And seeing actually what the underworld consists of. Imagine having the gift, the power to take the sun to the underworld so that people can see the light of the world. And maybe you can save them and raise their souls back up so they can be made manifest back within the earth. Because we have been taught that hell isn't real, the underworld isn't real, and that it doesn't matter because good and evil are just perceptions and they aren't real, and there's no consequences for people like King Leopold, Napoleon, Cecil Rhodes, and a lot of our presidents. That most of the things that they have to do are so gruesome when it comes to leaving Africa wide open so they can plunder and destroy millions. upon millions of black people that look just like African Americans and the rest of the black people of the earth. Can you imagine seeing bodies on bodies on bodies, craters like an asteroid hit the earth, dug into its ground, and it didn't unalive none of the people there in Africa, but they dig a hole. I mean, they fill the hole with black bodies, men, women, and children, and they have done this time and time and time again. I said, how do we even begin to fix this type of thing? I had to ask, is there any in the earth that feel the way that I feel? And the ancestor said, no. The creator, the creatress, the great mother, and great father said, absolutely not. For it is your time. You got to get past whether people believe in your stories or not. You got to do this work. Don't look to be flattered or none of these things. And like they just said, it's okay. But don't get caught up. Because what you do and have been doing is beyond comprehension to someone living in what they will call reality that's not reality. You think it's time to go see a doctor? That's what one guy said. You think, wait a minute, let's just back it up. Now, when do you think that it's time to get some help? But you can look at the pyramids and say, well, man can't build them today. So we can look at all of these awesome dudes, awesome women, the hidden figures. They have the minds that they have. That what you thought was a lie, some theory, has actually become a scientific fact because of the peers that reviewed it, and now it's acceptable. But you've been telling people what you've been doing in the earth. I said, man, is there anybody in this earth like me? They said, no. We've been awaiting for you to get up. And there was going to be nothing to stop you from waking up. So I had to be grateful for all that I had experienced, what I thought was wrong, whatever I thought was falling out of place. It was actually falling into place while it was falling apart. The golden age. But now you're waking. Yeah, many were awake, but ain't nobody doing this work like I do, to be childlike and allow the mind to go into different states of itself to truly see not what man asks. Prophesy for me. Like they slapped the shit out of Jesus and it was like, tell us who hit you. Nah, that's just one gift. We're talking about traveling out into the bosom of Noon, basically, and holding the earth in her hands, or your hands type of situation. I'm talking about being more than human, to where the CIA, the FBI, the NSA, and whoever else is following you. Because they follow me.